Hello and welcome. This is an energetic reading for the solstice, which occurs every year on the 21st of December, give or take a day. So for this solstice reading, we are bringing together the duality both internally and externally. We can look at this time as really the union of polarity within ourselves and how we may have been operating in the external world under the dominant energy of polarity, and truly the union of polarity occurs within the center of the heart. So one way to shortcut this energy of polarity, the illusion of duality, which we ultimately came here to experience as beings here in this physical realm, but nonetheless it is of course difficult at times. So for you to come back to your true self, it is through the portal of your heart center, which, as I have spoken about in other videos, it is the remembrance of your true self, not just the way that the heart is, where the heart is oftentimes misportrayed as solely the energetic center through which we experience romantic love at large. So it is about coming into true center with yourself from a grounded place, anchoring yourself into the union of your entire being through the center of your heart. And that can be done in any moment. It is very intuitive. For those of you connecting to the starseed aspects of yourself, your heart is very much the portal into your higher galactic self. That is where you will receive the messages that you are wanting to connect with, to bring in what you're meant to bring in as a starseed, the various systems that you're supposed to bring in, whatever you are here to anchor into the earth, bringing it through your heart center first and foremost, not only maintains that it's of a pure resonance and what you are truly meant to do here on earth versus just through the realm of your ego, because that's where we get very lost here as humans. When we start to create things and manifest things from the ego, we stray away from the pure resonance. So connecting through your heart center not only anchors you to your true essence that is able to transcend all polarity and duality, but it also allows you to bring in the more pure aspects of what you are here to create. So the first card that showed itself upright as I was shuffling was Divine Feminine, number 6. 6 being the energy of the mother. If we are talking about the heart, in some aspects, it is the more feminine energy in the sense of we can think of masculine energy as being more logical, and the heart, in a sense, being what we are feeling very intuitively without trying to rationalize it in our mind. But also, divine feminine is all about receiving. And as I said in either the last reading or the one before, the act of being in touch with the unseen realms is very much an act of receiving. It is about being receptive to the unseen, unheard energies, messages, what lies beyond the veil. So this is for those of you that are looking to be channels, be guides, develop your divinatory faculties, making sure that you are as pure of a receptor as you can be ensures that you're not allowing the ego to just give you the answers you want. For example, it goes with anything, even this that I'm doing. I'm doing my best to ensure that I am bringing through messages that really are from the divine, as opposed to what I just want to be communicated. So the feminine, connecting to your feminine energy is going to help you to be as pure of a receptor as you can be for whatever wants to come through, whether that's galactic, whether that's purely astral, whether that is from energies and entities more localized to the earth plane. Whatever it is that you are desiring to channel from a place of pure intention, it is the act of receiving and being in the receptive mode. Underneath that we have jealousy 23. So really making sure that the ego is not clouding your vision, so that you are actually seeing clearly and you're not comparing yourself, because a lot of the times we just compare ourselves to other people, and that blocks us. That blocks us from what we're actually meant to receive. It blocks us from the information and the insights that we're actually meant to receive and bring in. So in a lot of instances, when this card comes up, I would connect it more to the earthly realm in terms of what is triggering you in the physical realm. Allow that to be the biggest indicator of what you're meant to call in. But in this instance, it is about making sure that you're not comparing yourself. Get out of this comparing energy and allow yourself to just receive what is truly for you, and allow yourself to be open to what you can see beyond just your ego, because jealousy is tied to the ego. The heart does not get jealous. It is very much the illusion of the human realm, because what we are physically seeing with our eyes is a very small fraction of what is actually occurring in reality. And so that is how we get so easily trapped by the illusion of limitation. Because it is all about speaking the truth. And that's why I was saying connect to the portal of your heart, because your heart speaks the absolute truth. Your mind is easily clouded, easily fooled, but your heart connects to resonance and frequency, which is the true underlying aspect, or let's say the truer underlying aspects of reality. So if you can connect through your heart center, you will see the more truer aspects of what is around you. and what is making up your actual experience of reality instead of the illusion that is presenting itself. Because it is all about grounding in the energies, grounding into the body of yourself. When you cannot connect to the element of earth, when you cannot go outside, can you ground yourself in your own physical vessel and let that be enough? If you have not explored somatic work, it can be incredibly useful for those of you that are starseeds and find yourself needing to ground the energy because it is very intense at times. You are most likely receiving downloads, information, galactic insights, and you are still here in this physical vessel, which is what you have to harmonize with. You have to harmonize with this earthly experience, which I will be talking about more. But somatic practices can help you to release what you need to release so that you maintain yourself as a grounded, clear channel for what you are meant to bring in to the earth realm. And also with the solstice, with all the energy possibly being intense for some, grounding is always a good idea because the shift is... things are constantly in flux due to the quantum nature of reality, let's say. But when we are at solstice points, meaning the longest night for those of us in the northern hemisphere and the longest day for those of us in the southern hemisphere, it is a shift. With number 9 being the energy of this card, it is the ending of a cycle. It is the point just before the cycle is complete. So acknowledging the cycle that you are shifting out of, allowing yourself to shapeshift, understanding that you are not a static being. Yes, you have a physical vessel, but you are constantly in flux, just like the rest of reality is. Allowing yourself to shift as needed. That's what's coming up. Allow yourself to shift as is needed. Stop confining yourself to arbitrary models. Stop limiting yourself. Because just as the plant has to be placed into a larger pot for the roots to expand, that is the point of all of these cycles. With each cycle, it's an expansion. So you can think of yourself as this spiral trajectory, which is the universal symbol for many reasons. So it is how consciousness is actually moving in a sense. So you are this spiral, you are on this trajectory, your soul is on the trajectory of a spiral, let's say, and in each segment of the spiral, there are cycles that are occurring. So you are, as you are moving through this spiral shape and expanding, with each increment, you are closing out cycles. Whether you learn the lessons or not, that's up to you, but that is the actual unfolding, let's say. So acknowledging how you need to shift out of the redundant cycles as you expand. Regardless, you are continuing to expand, but if you are not learning the lessons from each cycle, you are continuing the expansion of the spiral motion, but you are staying within the same cycle. So release what needs to be released so you can actually flow with the shift instead of having all the resistance and not understanding why nothing actually changes. If you are doubting your psychic capacity, it is the time to fully step into your unique psychic gifts, which may look entirely different than what you see presented before you. There is no one way to be psychic. As I have channeled in prior messages, your entire being is the vehicle of expression. So how you are psychic, it is not just through your mind. It is not just through the clairaudience, the clairvoyance, the claircognizance, the clairsentience. There are so many ways of being psychic. But it is your time to stop doubting the very clear messages that you are receiving. Because the more you doubt, the more you question, the more you kind of weaken, let's say, or the more you delay in some aspects the timeline where you are fully in your psychic capacity. Because you have information that you are meant to bring in. As a starseed, if you are listening to this and connecting with the starseed frequency, there is much information to bring in, especially as the majority of starseeds have had many lifetimes on various different star systems and planets. So you have learnt much, and everything that you have accumulated is knowledge and information. So this is what you came here to share. Because it is as much about your transformation as it is humanity's transformation. The cocoon, the cocooning aspect. So with this solstice energy, this juncture in time, as is expressed in Dolores Cannon's The Convoluted Universe, which I highly recommend reading or listening to, because that can offer a lot of guidance for the structure of what we are experiencing. It is as much about your transformation individually, which contributes to the whole, because everything is connected. So humanity's transformation depends on the individual's transformation. 2027 marks the year of the sleeping phoenix. It is the beginning of a 400-year cycle within the system of human design. So this new cycle that we are entering into in 2027, it is going to be a significant shift in energy for each and every one of us. And it is very much so moving away from the model of depending on the masses to awaken in order for humanity to transform. So it is all truly about the individual awakening. It is all truly about the individual transforming, which is what you are doing. You are doing it regardless. So allowing for the expansion, the unfolding from the as the wings are unfolding of the butterfly, it is that natural, it is the natural unfolding that occurs as the butterfly's wings are unfolding. So your transformation, yes, of course it has been painful at times, of course it has been confusing, and of course it has felt lonely at times. Because as much as we are connected, we still have our individual awakenings to go through. And when we are in that cocoon where there is just complete darkness, we can't see. And the imaginal cells within us, there aren't that many of them. But they are the ones consuming the caterpillar in order for it to become the butterfly. So it's confusing and chaotic for the majority of what makes up the caterpillar. But for those for those imaginal cells that are the ones responsible for the change, it is the same with you. Those inklings, those insights that you can't quite explain, and you find yourself there, sometimes in isolation, sometimes in the dark, but you know you have to listen to those messages. This is the acknowledgement of the times that you may have felt incredibly lost. You may have asked yourself several times, why is it so painful? Why is it so painful to do the work? Why is it so painful to break the cycle? Why is it so painful to not fall for the illusion of the 3D realm and go for what you know in your inner being as the truth, even if it doesn't make sense on the outside? So this is the shift that is occurring, and we will very much be feeling come 2027, because this is basically going to be the norm. And many structures will be collapsing even more so, because we are coming to the end of the cross of planning. So with the cross of the sleeping phoenix, it is the rainbow frequency, which is all about the full spectrum experience, which is why authenticity is very much the term of the zeitgeist right now. Authenticity, it is coming up so much because the illusion of those outdated models is becoming, it's just glaringly obvious at this point, and everyone is hungry for their own authenticity. As much as we value what we see in the outside world, when it becomes this denying of our inner world, when we are consuming more than we are creating, there is this disbalance. And so the cross of the sleeping phoenix is basically every individual being called to truly step into their own power for themselves and for everyone. We're not really gonna be bothered by those that are not awakened, because we have already awakened individually, and our wings have fully unfolded. And it is very much, like I said, it is the full spectrum experience. So whatever you came here to be, whether it is a star seed or whether you are an earth seed, whatever you are here as, your actual expression of your being, that is going to be the more of the normal set point in the age of the cross of the sleeping phoenix, which will be 400 years. So that is what is to come, basically. And it is going to see a lot of genuine connection. Because those of us that are realizing more and more that it is not about doing things from a place of obligation, no matter who it is in your life, whether it's family, friends, partners, co-workers, it is about the genuine forming of connection with others, but with others who are on the same frequency, the same wavelength, so that you are actually having a heart-to-heart connection. And you will know, you will feel it. So that is what is being ushered in. That is what is going to occur as a result of everyone's unique self-expression. When everyone is allowing themselves to be who they actually truly are meant to be, true connection cannot help but be formed as a result of that. So if you have been desiring for your soul family, for your true soulmate, for those individuals that resonate on that deep level where it goes beyond what you are verbally saying to one another. You are just connected. And with many starseeds, this will be connection through the entire vessel of your being. So you will just be in someone's presence and you will be communicating with them. So it is not just going to be excluded to telepathy, let's say. It will be your entire being. And what is coming through is what I was saying in the beginning, as the heart being the portal. So when you are fully in your heart center, you are able to connect with others who are fully in their heart center. And for those of us wanting to connect with other starseeds, we will also connect through the portal of our heart. So it will be basically this telepathic communication between hearts. So of course there is the telepathic communication that occurs with the mind, but there will be certain groups of people, let's say, that will be communicating telepathically through the center of their heart, simply because they choose to, not because it's better. It's just how they desire to experience connection with another. Because there is going to be much healing, of course, that will be occurring as a result of this. Healing the timelines, healing lineages, not just here on Earth, but even through the galactic generations, the galactic lineages, however you want to understand that. But there is very much a healing that is going to be occurring. Which is very much the death of the old world, the old paradigm that so many people are desiring to experience, because it's almost this energy of boredom. We're kind of bored with the stories, the narratives that have been perpetuated here on Earth, basically, by those that believe they are in positions of power. So there are many of us that are just bored. We're just bored with the limiting narratives we see through the manipulation, and we understand that it's also how much we are feeding in to those narratives. So allowing ourselves to come back into the flow, coming back into the flow of our intuition, of trusting ourselves, trusting what we are feeling, and allowing ourselves to just move through what is crumbling, what is falling, what is coming to an end. Because it's very much like I was saying, that you can either fight the shift or you can just allow yourself to flow with it. And you can either fight what is internally needing to be released, or you can just flow with it. You can just allow it to flow out of you. So I am going to pull from this deck Guided by Spirit to see what messages, if any, want to come through. And of course, trusting how whatever has come up, trusting how it resonates with you, trusting your capacity to intuitively understand, and whatever insights may have arisen, anchoring that in. Because that is how you actually strengthen your psychic connection. Everybody has the capacity for psychic connection. But it is very much this, if you are not someone that is born with your psychic faculties already, let's say, active, or you are aware of them being active, let's say, you can just call in for them to be active. There's a really good exercise from the book The Psychic Witch, or Psychic Witch, I forget what it is, Psychic Witch by Matt Oren, I think. And I will link it in the description. And he gives an exercise to the reader where he basically says, stand in the mirror and say to yourself in the mirror that you now activate your psychic capacity, or something like you now can see psychically. Something as simple as that can be all that it takes to actually start activating your greater psychic capacity. And I'm saying this from personal experience. The minute I did that, I would see cards before they even came up in the reading. And that's when I just kind of said, okay, it's very apparent that it doesn't take much. So if you are wanting to connect to your psychic capacity, but you don't really know where to begin, it's something really simple. Like all it takes is a spark. So funny. This deck is a very particular deck. It has a very particular energy, at least for me, whenever I use it. But I think it's because the creator, it's because it also contains some of her spirit guides, and you definitely feel it. Like, I can feel it when I use this deck. It's very different to the Sacred Symbols deck and the Fountain Tarot. So yes, it only takes a spark. It doesn't take much, because you have it within you. Your psychic capacities, they're there. So don't think that you have to do something specific, or you have to be initiated in a specific way in order to start being able to pick up on things psychically. There isn't, like, there's no ritual that you need to do, none of that. You literally have it within you. So just trust the spark. Trust the spark that you have within yourself. Even just connect to this card right now. Just take a second to connect with this energy of the card as it comes up for you. Because that's how you also start to pave your own way psychically. That's what I was saying about the new systems that you're here to perhaps bring in. Like, we only know by doing. And the more we do, the more we kind of cement this path. Even if it's a path no one has traversed before, it doesn't matter. So trust your inner spark, because that's literally all you need. So I'm going to read the message for the card. You have a light in the palm of your hand. We pray and hover over you, holding our hands around your glow. I'm getting a bit emotional reading this. Our backs to the wind that fight to carry it off into the night. Pull the light closer to your heart. You have a beginning that needs to be fanned with intention. Your light needs to know you are willing to breathe life into it. We gather in circle and sing songs of praise and love up to the heavens. Our song holds the promise that is you. Each spark creates a star. Tonight, look up into the sky and witness the beauty of collective beginnings. So what this is saying is that you are never alone. We are never alone. Our spirit team, our spirit guides, our higher self, our astral self, our galactic self, like all the versions of us connected to this current expression of us in this moment, we are always with us. And the external beings that have been assigned to us or have decided to be with us in this incarnation, and of course it's us at the end of the day, because everything is source consciousness, so it is all one at the end of the day. But we are never alone. So the spark you have within you is so precious. Don't let anything convince you otherwise. So you have the spark within you. As this card is pointing out, it is this collective beginning. So you wanting to, let's say, be psychic, as I was saying, or you wanting to explore your psychic faculties more, your psychic gifts, you're not on your own. But of course it appears that you're on your own, because if you're just starting out and you don't really feel anything, or you don't really have the clairvoyance at this point, it can be really difficult to believe that you're not alone. I know because I've been there, where I've heard people say your spirit guide's always with you, but it's like, well, I don't feel them. And yeah, you're not going to feel them in the beginning, because when you are very much connected to the 3D, to the earthly realm, and you haven't really started to open up your inner psychic faculties, you don't feel psychic. You don't feel it. You don't feel the connection. But the more you do it, the more you start trusting it, the more you forge that path, even if it's in the darkness. Like if you look at these lines, they're so thin, right? But it's powerful. So no matter how insignificant it feels, trusting yourself and knowing that you are supported, even if you can't see how you're supported, even if you can't feel how you're supported, you are supported, and with time, you will see how you are supported. But it is very much this, the collective beginning. So it's not just you on your own. There are forces unseen that are with you. And they're watching you. And they are doing what they can to keep that spark protected. There are times in life where things feel incredibly dark. They feel incredibly hopeless. And that tiny spark feels like the flame of a candle just in the wind that could just blow out at any moment. So it is up to you, with the help of your spirit guide, your spirit team, with the help of them, to cocoon that flame so it can grow into a fire that self-sustains. And that fire is going to be from all the experiences that you've gone through, and in a way that's gonna be where you pull from psychically, because it's not just about what you're picking up around you, but it's also within you. So the additional messages to come through, I asked for 2. In relation to the spark card is descend and migrate. So it's interesting because these are kind of opposite energies. One is going into the underworld journey, and then the other is moving. It's almost like as above, so below. So in order to move, in order to go where you actually want to go, this is feeling more in the physical realm. So whatever you are trying to shift in your external world, whatever you are trying to see movement in, progress in a way, you, in a sense, have to look at what is beneath the surface, really and truly. Because as much as you may want to just leave the situation and just have things move forward and, you know, migrate, whether maybe you are moving house, moving job, moving relationship, whatever is truly needed in your soul for your soul's evolution, there is the need to look at what has contributed to this beneath the surface. So taking the underworld journey, doing basically like an excavation, looking at the inventory, seeing what has actually contributed to this situation that you really want to change, and recognizing the spark of the new beginning. So you already have the seed, you already have that insight, that inkling, the idea, whatever it is. But before you actually move to the new situation, in order for it to have strong foundations, you want to do the deep dive so that you can understand the energetic framework of the situation. Because what's the point of moving? What's the point of moving if you are just going to repeat the same pattern? And that's how you actually get burnt out within yourself. That's how you actually start to lose the spark. Because you say you want the change, you say you want things to be different, but if you just keep repeating the same thing, you're not learning the lesson. You can't take the physical experiences with you. You can only take the energy of the lessons you've learned here on this earthly realm. That is literally the point of you being here, in addition to, yes, what you're actually meant to bring in here for Earth's evolution, for your soul expression. You're also still meant to learn the lessons. Because it is the earthly realm. And Bernard he likes to do the hard work. So in a way, it's like we can call on the spirits to help us. We can call on our spirit guides to help us with the earthly aspects. But we have to do the inner work. Because it's an exchange. And I'm even getting like petitioning to spirits within the earthly realm. Like if you set up altars, if you petition to spirits a lot, to basically get them to do the heavy lifting for you. If you aren't looking at the underlying factors that have contributed to your physical situation, you're kind of missing the point and you're bypassing it basically. So it is about the evolution of doing the spiritual work. Like it's about the evolution of working with the spirit realm even. Bernard of Earth, the message for his card is, I relish the heavy lifting. I am a worker of the fields who tills the soil of life, face turned up to the sun in gratitude. I love to water your roots as I pull out your weeds. I meet each task with vigor and with love. I offer reason and direction to the dreams you have written high in the sky. I ask for patterns and structure so that ideas can prevail. How do you nurture your beautiful seeds? How do you focus now to build what has yet to be? So I'm going to close this reading. I'm going to leave this reading here because the energy just feels very, it feels very like it's, his energy is coming through as like the father energy basically. Just kind of making peace with the physical realm, because a lot of us have been at war with our experience of the physical realm, and it has been really difficult. And there have been moments where like we've gone past the point of giving up, let's say. because it's just so hard. Like there's just so much density, and it's not about taking the shortcuts. It's not about bypassing what we're meant to learn, as difficult as it is. So Bernard of Earth is really giving this like very nurturing father energy that a lot of us don't have. Even if we have fathers present in our life, or even if we have had fathers present in our life, doesn't mean that that divine masculine energy has been there. So it's just a very nice energy coming from Bernard. It's this very comforting, solid energy, which honestly feels perfect for moving through this portal of the solstice, let's say, which is at the end of the day honoring what the earth is going through. So yeah, I'm going to just see what the underlying cards are at the bottom of the deck before I completely close out the reading. So we have Ripple, which is of course saying that every action we do ripples out around us. Things are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything is connected. Every word we speak, every thought, everything is connected, and everything causes a ripple effect. So what are we choosing to have ripple out from what we say, from what we do? And the bottom of the deck for sacred symbols is affluence, calling in the new structures of affluence. The act of affluence is to have things flow towards you. Being in resonance, being in energetic resonance, naturally allows for the flowing of what is meant to come to you to come to you. So as much as things are rippling out from what you're doing, your energetic state of being is dictating what is also coming in. So it's like the ripples of what is going out and the ripples of what is coming in. So very nice energy that I'm gonna close this reading with. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video.